Time Warp, because I think the last time I played, what was it, Claire A, was like 2014 or something like that.
8 years ago.
Maybe, what, 2013?
When I looked it up on our channel, it said 8 years ago.
RIP. So yeah, 2013. Do we have the... oh, you have the remote. Good. So yeah, this is Leon B. I'm not playing it. Trevor's playing it because I had literally 8 years to do it and I didn't.
Yeah. I think Spencer doesn't really like this game that much anymore. I like this game. I still think it's the worst of the PS1 trilogy because it's the awkward, like, middle child where you have RE1, which is, like, the worst action-wise.
But the best puzzle.
But it has the best exploration and the best puzzles. And then RE3 has the worst puzzles and exploration, but the best action. And this one's just kind of like the middle ground. If this game stayed, like... I actually really like the police station. Like, the way that it's structured.
Yes.
It's basically like the mansion, but I actually think it might be, like, cooler. But the unfortunate thing is that the second half of this game is bad.
If you think about it, like, almost every single Resident Evil game does that. Where it's like...
Yeah.
It's like the first place is awesome. Resident Evil 1, the mansion. Resident Evil 2, police station. Resident Evil 3, kind of like up the uptown, you know, until you get to the clock tower. Hell, even Code Veronica, like the island is cooler than Antarctica. Hell, even Resident Evil Village, like the coolest part is the castle, and then the second coolest part, in my opinion, is the dollhouse, and then it's like fine afterwards.
Yeah, it's like once you get to Heisenberg's factory, it's so on rails and linear. You can't even go back at that point.
So it's really weird. It's like Resident Evil games, they always start out the strongest.
And it just feels like each game kind of depends. Like RE3, you already kind of expect a very like linear action-focused game. So I think like the clock tower onwards is fine.
Oh, wait, hold on. 1 sec. My favorite line in any game ever.
I would say the unfortunate thing is that since we're doing Leon B, a lot of the really like memorable dialogue we're not going to be hearing.
Oh, it's funny because Resident Evil 2 actually, I know some people give it crap for like the voice acting, but I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, I think it's infinitely better than RE1. I mean, RE1 is funny and campy, but...
Well, I also think that this cutscene, like, between Claire and Leon, I've probably watched, like, literally 100 times, which is probably part of the reason why I'm, like... The thought of playing Resident Evil 2, I'm just like, God, because I've played it so much.
Yeah.
Whereas Resident Evil 1, I didn't play as much, so I could pick that up and just go through. And Resident Evil 3 is so fun that despite the fact that I played it 100 times, It's just fun.
Going back to RE2, and just the simple removal of the quick 180 that RE3 introduced, it's so... It feels like there's something missing to the control scheme. Or like RE1, because it's so slow-paced anyway.
Don't shoot! Get down!
It doesn't really matter, but in this game it's like, they really throw enemies at you sometimes.
Hey, remember when Resident Evil games had new characters, like this one? Instead of just being like, it's Chris.
Hey, we had Ethan Winters and Mia Winters. They're new characters, I guess.
I mean, that's fine. But
That's like the newest characters since... Man. Like, I was playing Revelations 1 for a bit, and like, it's like, oh, it's Chris and Jill again, and they just exist. Oh, these new characters suck.
I like, what's the chubby guy's name?
The guy with Jill?
Yeah.
Parker.
Parker, yeah. I like him, he's cool.
Yeah.
Chris's partner, I literally don't remember anything.
I already forget her name, but she's like...
Oh, and to add to, you know how I was saying how the games start really good, and even Resident Evil 4, like, the weakest part is definitely the island, and that's the last part. And Resident Evil 6, I just so happened to play Leon's Quest first, just randomly, and that's the best by far, and I ended with, like, freaking Jake's Quest. Why would I do that to myself? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why you would play RE6 other than Mercenaries.
Well, that was when I actually wanted to go through it. I was like, we gotta do this.
Me and Big Mite actually went through Leon's one, and then we tried to do Jake's, and then we gave up.
Yeah. Leon's one really isn't that bad, but all the others are so bad. So, it's summer. And that is not good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was like 90 degrees today.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that anyone watching this video that's gotten this far in listening to us is probably not a normie. And if you don't know what a normie is, that means you're a normie. And that's fine. It's fine to be a normie. I'm kind of a normie. Except for about one thing, which is the weather. When I hear like, the other day, someone was like, standing outside and they were like, this weather is perfect. It's so beautiful. It was like 90 degrees, humid as heck. But the reason they said it was so beautiful is because the sun was out. And I'm like, yo, just because the oppressive sun is out with no clouds in the sky doesn't mean it's a beautiful day. I'm sorry. A beautiful day is one where you can go outside and be like, oh, I'm not going to sweat to death. It's been so humid the last couple days that despite the fact that the AC is on max in the store, I, like, feel the humidity inside, you know? It's intense.
Alright, so, you'll notice the first thing with the B playthrough is that we start on the other side of the crash, and that applies to, gotta get used to this input lag. Alright, we good. Alright, so RE2, B playthrough, you start on the other side of the crash, which throws you into the police station in the second floor, which makes it much more non-linear. And overall, I enjoy the police station and the B route a lot more than A.
Wait, go back to the,
yeah.
to the door.
Yeah, if you didn't hear, a bunch of zombies want to get in. That's like a jump scare. Well, not jump scare, but like a thing in the A playthrough that if you try to go through that door, a bunch of zombies spawn.
Well, it's the same thing as Resident Evil 1 in the mansion. If you try to go out, it's like, hey, did you forget there's dogs here? The one female zombie. Also, we playing this on the PS2 with original PS1 disc. So ain't no PS3 emulation or whatever. Oh, you probably don't read the comments, but this is completely random, but remember that Ask Kugi, the Heartless game we did on PS1? The one that ran really badly?
Oh, Kugi, yeah.
What's his name? Gosh dang it.
Our #1 fan or someone else?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I'm putting Spencer on the spot.
Oh, okay, hold on. I literally just got off a 10-hour shift at CIB where it was like the busiest day ever. Oh my god.
I'm deflecting because I also don't remember.
No. Alex Swingle. Swingle. Yes, okay. Sorry, Alex. Anyway, he said that game in particular, when it's emulated, I guess he said specifically, he was like, hey, I looked it up, and the PS3 emulation of this game makes it run really badly. And but I was like, we played on a PS2.
Yeah, we did.
But I guess it still emulates it for some extent, because if you do play it on the PS1, I guess it runs, like, fine.
Interesting.
So that's kind of weird. I guess I only bring that up because we're playing, you know, a PS1 game on the PS2, and that kind of reminded me about that. But I wanted to... I mean, we're never going to play Akuji the Heartless again, but for any Akuji the Heartless stands out there, I guess it plays better on PS1.
I wonder if there's anyone in the world that's like, Akuji the Heartless is my favorite game of all time.
I had a customer once say to me, and it was like pretty poignant, where he was like, no matter what game it is, it's someone's favorite game of all time. And I'm like, you know, I could definitely see that with how many people there are in the world that play games. And like, I have very odd, stupid taste, where I guess you could call it like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, being opposite on purpose, being ironic on purpose.
Or contrarian.
Contrarian, yeah, that's it. Where I'm sure, like, no one in the world would be like, oh, Saga Frontier is my favorite game of all time, or whatever. Or, like, whatever I decided to be. Because I'm never going to be like, oh, Symphony of the Night's my favorite game of all time, as well as Ocarina of Time, you know? No way. But, I bet someone out there is like, Ride to Hell Retribution 3.6. Ooh, baby.
Yeah, they tell you that in the A route, so at this point they expect you to know that.
So I think Ride to Hell Retribution is my favorite game of all time, and I bet there's someone. I feel it. Here's a little known fact about RE2. I probably said this 8 years ago, when I literally lived in another house and only had one kid who was a baby, and now Ferris is literally 8 and going into 3rd grade.
Rip.
I know. Makes me cry. 3rd grade. And in Ephrata, they only go to elementary school through 5th grade. So he literally only has 3 more years in elementary school, which is like... Because the school...
What's middle school?
6th grade. The school that we went to at Garden Spot, it starts... you start middle school in 7th grade.
I guess it makes sense that middle school was only 2 years, so that's actually kind of weird, probably, for our school.
Yeah. But, yeah, he has 3 more years in elementary school. No go. Anyway, what was I saying? I probably said that 8 years ago, but did you know that in Resident Evil 2, you have enough ammo in the game to kill literally every single zombie?
Easily.
I'm sorry, every single thing. I will say with an asterisk, probably not every time Big Guy shows up, but maybe. I don't know.
Even Big Guy really does not
require a ton.
That much ammo. It's just there's no point, because he doesn't like drop cool stuff like Nemesis does.
Yeah.
In fact, if you get unlucky, he'll just drop 15 handgun bullets, which are just like, oh, that was worth it. But he does occasionally drop 8 Magnum rounds.
I forgot that he dropped stuff.
Yeah. He either it's just handgun bullets, shotgun, or Magnum.
Alright, I kind of forget how he works. If you knock him out, like literally knock him out and you drop something, is he still roaming until the next area where he predeterminedly comes? Or is he gone?
So, in this game, once you figure out how Big Guy works, is that it kind of loses the scariness, because he only shows up predetermined, and it doesn't matter if you kill him or not, it doesn't affect anything. So he will show up every single time. In fact, Spencer, do you remember when you're doing the lighter puzzle, when he breaks through the wall?
When he breaks through, yeah.
I actually, because you'll see that I have several infinite ammo weapons, I killed him in that room, and then when you exit out of the hallway, he'll show up again. He still shows up, even if you kill him.
Okay.
So it literally does not affect anything.
Interesting. So if you killed him right now, he would not show up until the next predetermined time, is what you're saying. Okay.
And actually, we're not going to be seeing him for a while. So a lot of times when Big Guy shows up...
I don't know how to get away from that hit.
That quick punch, there's like nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I went the wrong way.
Also, unlike RE3, he doesn't follow you, I think, from room to room? I might be wrong there.
He really doesn't. He'll probably still be here. I hope he's not... Okay, it doesn't sound like he's here.
Big ups to my favorite game in the series, Resident Evil Survivor, for making Big Guy, like, the literal... Oh, God. The literal worst enemy ever. Because he just walks so slow and doesn't do anything. And it being a game where you have unlimited handgun, he is, like, never a threat for any reason. At all. And I think that's pretty cool. Resident Evil Survivor is cool.
What? Why did it spawn so late? That was weird.
Dog. Also, I'm going to do Dead Aim at some point. I will. I'm going to do Dead Aim, and I'm going to do Gaiden.
We can do both of those now. Well, Dead Aim, specifically.
We could do... I forget. PS2's region locked, right? It doesn't play Japanese games? Unless you, like...
Yeah, PS1 and PS2 are region locked.
Okay. Because I would totally play Gun Survivor... What is it? Like 3 and 4, I guess?
Yeah, they made Survivor Code Veronica. Do you want to read this?
April 6th. I accidentally moved one of the stone statues on the 2nd floor when I leaned against it. When the chief found out about it, he was furious. I swear the guy nearly bit my head off, screaming at me never to touch the statue again. If it's so important, then maybe he shouldn't have put it out in the open like that. April 7th. I heard that all the art pieces from the chief's collection are rare items, literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know which is the bigger mystery, where he finds those tacky things, or where he's getting the money to pay for them. May 10th. I wasn't surprised to see the chief come in today with yet another large picture frame in his hands. This time it was a really disturbing painting depicting a nude person being hanged. I was appalled by the expression on the chief's face as he leered at that painting. Why anyone would consider something like that to be a work of art is beyond my comprehension.
Dude, Chief Irons is literally me.
I do like how Chief Irons in the remake is like given more screen time.
Yeah. It's one of the saddest things about this run specifically is we are going to be seeing him almost never.
Yeah. Chief Irons is especially when you read all the backstory stuff, you're like,
whoops.
You're like, whoa, he is something. I just love like he does absolutely everything possible to, I guess sabotage is the word, sabotage his own police force.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read any of the the files that we pick up, but I'm pretty sure they go into how Chief Irons like really sabotages everything.
No, he absolutely does. And it's funny because like it's not like the whole city really stood a chance. Like I get that, but like he went out of his way to be like I think there was one file where it talks about how Chief Irons was like, hey, you know all those extra guns we have? We should like lock them away and stuff, and then also make it impossible to get to them.
They say that he's like worried about terrorists or something. And it's like, okay.
So he like it doesn't even make any sense because it's like, I mean, he obviously works like with Umbrella, you know, and all that. I get that, but
hello.
It's funny how it's funny how he like goes out of his way to be like, also I don't want any of my police to survive. It's like, okay, I don't quite get that.
They go a little bit into that of how, first of all, the way that they say in the files, he only is paid $10,000 for being an Umbrella shell, which is like nothing. Even in '98, $10,000 is
like
absolutely
$20,000. Yeah,
it's absolutely nothing.
That's like minimum wage. That's literally minimum wage.
So he gets $10,000 payment. I don't know if it's a one-time payment, but it definitely makes him look like an idiot. But the reason why he sabotages everyone is because he's literally just salty that Umbrella screwed him over.
That's cool. This is one of the rare times where enemies are in a room with a with a item box. This letter is just to inform everyone about the recent movement of equipment. Oh, this is like nothing. This is the thing. I ain't reading anything that's not written by no diary, or it has to be written by like a secretary.
I could definitely just kill this guy, but when you play remake,
first aid.
I'll take shotgun shells over first aid. We get so much health in this.
I have only one thing to say regarding Chief Irons. And to think taxidermy used to be a hobby.
All the quotes we won't hear because Leon B is boring.
No! I like how the girl's just laying on his desk. In a couple of hours, she would have turned. And to think taxidermy used to be a hobby.
Literally me.
Rip.
Spooky. Alright, so, I definitely appreciate that Spencer went Claire A, because I think Leon B is way easier than Claire B.
Why is that?
Mostly because you have the lighter. So, in this mode, if you notice that there weren't any zombies. So, zombies will infiltrate the left or the east and west wing once you hit the library. And the way that Claire B works is that you have to basically go to the library first to get the lighter, and then you have to come back, and this place is swarmed with zombies.
Cool.
So, because we have the lighter, and because where we get the diamond key...
The Raccoon Police Department was unexpectedly attacked by zombies. Many have been injured, even more were killed. During the attack, our communications equipment was destroyed, and we no longer have contact with the outside. We have decided to carry out an operation with the intent of rescuing any possible survivors, as well as to prevent this disaster from spreading beyond Raccoon City. The details of the operation are as follows. Security of armaments and ammunition. Chief Irons, I think this is, has voiced concern regarding the issue of terrorism due to a series of recent unresolved incidents. On the very day before the zombies attack, he made the decision to relocate all weapons to scattered intervals throughout the building as a temporary measure to prevent their possible seizure. Unfortunately, this decision has made it extremely difficult for us to locate all ammunition caches. It has become our top priority to recover these scattered munitions, to unlock the weapon storage, and then that's, nothing. 1 p.m. The west barricade has been broken through.
Yeah, it's just mostly like everything is bad. The liquors exist.
I love that. And like, it's like a movie where like they're talking about something, and you're like, is someone in this movie just gonna say like, I have several questions? Like, was no one like, hey, Chief, why are we taking all of the ammunition and scattering it randomly throughout the police station? This is it, don't worry.
Terrorism.
Oh. But yeah, that is absolutely hilarious. Oh man, did you save stuff in the basement? Did you save it for Leon?
Yes, actually both of them, just to make this easier. And it's funny because, I mean, we'll get to that, but choosing between the side pack and a lousy machine gun, the machine gun's not even good.
I love... It reminds me, the whole Chief Irons thing, it reminds me of, like in movies where, you know, where they're like, hey, you know, we need to be safe here. Let's split up. And, like, no one's like, wait. Like in, like, It Chapter 2, like, they're all, like, adults, and they learn in It Chapter 1, like, the first It movie, that, like, the whole reason they're able to defeat Pennywise is because they're, like, stronger together. They're weak apart, strong together. That's the whole point of the movie. And in the second one, they're like, this Pennywise guy, oh, man. You know, we should really split up. And it's like, wait a minute. These were the exact same characters, the exact same people that were like, oh, man, strong together, baby. And that kind of reminds me of that, of just being like, wait a minute. Why are we taking all of our ammunition, putting it elsewhere? And, like, why does I guess Chief Irons wants everyone to die because he's like, Umbrella.
Yeah, like, he gets screwed over, and he's just like, I'm going to take this entire city with me. Like, I think we read his diary where he basically says that.
Absolutely.
He's like, I'm probably already infected, I'm taking this entire city with me. And it's like, that dude is based. Also, best puzzle that me and Spencer have done 1,000 times.
I also like, and I know, like, with things involving zombies and stuff like that, there isn't a lot of realism, and I get that. But I like how, like, is it canon that when people are bitten once they become zombies, or is that not this in this universe? Like, if Chief Irons is bit, like Marvin was bit, right? And when Marvin's bit, he is infected.
He becomes a zombie. In fact, a lot of... You'll read some police reports of, like, the guardsmen just becoming infected just by, like, the presence of others. So, there's, like, no rules.
Yeah, I didn't know, like, if it was one of those things where, like... I guess it's canon that literally Leon gets through with never being bitten. And that's possible, obviously. But, yeah, when they're like, oh, man, I was near this thing.
3. Ooh. Take me out. Usually you always want to see the corpses twitching, so you know that they're actually completely dead. Plus, they bleed out, but sometimes it's hard to see. But when they're twitching on the ground, they're fully dead.
No, oh, Chris's diary. I talked to the chief today once again, but he refused.
RE8 Chris.
But he refused to listen to me. I know for certain that Umbrella conducted T-virus research in that mansion. Anyone infected turned into a zombie. But the entire mansion went up in that explosion, along with any incriminating evidence. Since Umbrella employs so many people in town, no one is willing to talk about the incident. Looks like I'm running out of options. We've been receiving a lot of local reports about strange monsters appearing at random throughout the city. This must be the work of Umbrella. With the help of Jill and Barry, I finally obtained information vital to this case. Umbrella has begun research on a new G-virus, a variation of the original T-virus. Haven't they done enough damage already? We talked it over and have decided to fly to the main Umbrella HQ in Europe. I won't tell my sister about this trip because doing so could put her in danger. Please forgive me, Claire.
So in Leon A, Claire shows up and they give the diary, but I guess they just don't bother in this. Plus, you get the Magnum.
Delicioso.
You get so many Magnum rounds. Later in the game, oh, by the way, in case if anyone knows, if you search this desk 50 times, you can find a film roll that develops to be Rebecca Chambers, like just as a little Easter egg. But you literally have to search it 50 times, and yeah, I'm not going to put you through that.
Based.
I'll show one other Easter egg that even Spencer might not be aware of. I only found out about this recently.
Does Chris go to the main HQ? That's, I guess, before Code Veronica, right? Like, that's not the events of Code Veronica.
I don't think so.
Because...
everything, I mean, Code Veronica just felt like some sort of side story, and then, like, RE4 just, like, forgot about everything that was going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where, obviously Antarctica and the second part is Antarctica, but I'm trying to think of the island. I think it's off the coast of, like, Central America? I actually... I'm not sure.
Something like that. I don't know RE lore that much.
I'm gonna figure it out.
It's just like when you dive into RE lore, it's so dumb.
But it's too dangerous for her to stay here alone. Leon, I'll go look.
I'm gonna figure this out.
You go and find us a way out of here.
Of course. But before I forget, here's a radio.
Southern
That way
Ocean.
we can keep in touch if something comes up.
Okay. Rockford Island. Yeah, where are you at, Rockford Island? South Pacific Ocean. I'm not American. I'm not American. I know where that is. The Pacific... so that... Wait. Yeah, I guess it could be... like, on the west side of like, the Americas.
Who knows?
Anyway.
Alright, so, where I just was talking with Claire, if you go into the next room, that's where the library is, and then it makes these bottom floors infested with zombies. So we actually, because we just got the diamond key, we want to double back immediately and go into here, so we don't have to deal with the zombies. There's like 6 of them. Alright, this room's... oh yeah, right.
In A, it's completely...
I think there's just a film roll over here, which I'm not going to be getting.
Yeah. Here's something interesting for you folks. There's version differences between the different ports of this game. And speedrunners choose the GameCube version for one specific reason, and that's because it's the only version that can skip cutscenes. And there is... Trev might get to it this playthrough, I'm not sure. But there is a very long cutscene in the sewers, and that literally shaves off like 10 minutes. Like, easily. So that's completely worth it. Too bad there's not a Taiwanese PC version.
Why is this not counting? He was like...
that Trev could play to skip all the door loading. Honestly, the version of Resident Evil 3, the Taiwanese PC, is like literally the perfect version, besides the fact that it's in Taiwanese, because you can skip all doors, you can skip all cutscenes.
Oh my god, dude. These are like super zombies. I can't see if they're dead. Okay.
I also heard recently that oh, I forget the guy who started Resident Evil. Gosh dang it.
So
Toa?
there's a small key over here. If I get it right now, I can unlock a drawer with the handgun parts, which makes the handgun 3 burst shot. It's... I didn't go back to the chest without thinking, so I'm not going to show it off, but it just makes you shoot 3 bullets at once. It really is not as interesting as the Eagle gun from RE3.
Rip. Anyway, I heard that the guy who started Resident Evil... That's not a... No. Anyway, whatever his name is, wanted to end Resident Evil after 2. And looking back at it, that was probably the way to go, all things considered. Kind of considering what happened to the series. Even though Village is an awesome game.
Yeah, it's just... the series is just all over the place. Alright, so I don't think I need the diamond key. So one key we're actually not going to be seeing at all is the spade key, which is like the most important one from A route, because it's the ultimate like troll in this one. So not only do you have to get down on the 2nd floor in the main hallway, and it's guarded by 3 zombies, but you get the unicorn medal from that, and then you go down and get the spade key where it is in the A route. And the only key, or the only door that opens in the B route is...
where the crank was.
Where the crank was. And at this point, the that wing is flooded with zombies, and all you get in the entire thing is 1 first aid spray. Not even ammo, not anything else, just 1 first aid spray.
Absolute rip.
And I would get the handgun parts if I wasn't rushing through this as fast as possible. This is where you get it. But we're going to be dishing the handgun pretty soon, because it's like you get so many shotgun shells, you have so much magnum, you really don't need it.